Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 7 of the College Chess Podcast. My name is Joe, and I'm joined once again by Max, who's back this week. And our very special guest is International Master Kostya Kavutskiy, who is from Chess Dojo Live, as most of you already know. Kostya, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is fun. I like podcasts.
So I heard you have your own podcast.
We do. Yeah, over at the dojo, we got a podcast, Dojo Talks. Actually, as of right now, we just finished our 98th episode. So
Wow,
we're
that's
two
do you have a
away
special
from
guest for number 100?
we have a special guest for number 99, actually. And
Okay.
then 100, we haven't figured it out yet. But 99, I'm like not kidding, is like a really very special guest.
We'll have to be sure
Dang.
to tune in for that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's an inspiration. We're on episode like 14 or something like that. I don't know
Are you guys on
exactly how many
14?
combined.
no,
This is season 2, episode 7. How many do we have in season 1?
I think if you look at our playlist on YouTube, this might be episode like 24.
Nice. Okay, we're
Maybe.
cooking.
So,
Honestly,
we-
I feel like I've done almost 100 episodes now, but to me, it actually feels like I've done like 15 episodes.
That's funny.
Like the
Yeah.
first 50, they just don't count. You're just floating in the ether.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think
getting used to it.
like podcast is interesting. It's a different space for sure. But to me, it's all about just talking to people that are really relevant in the community. And of course, like your expertise in chess and what you do at the chess dojo is really important. And the three of us were actually just in Vegas together at TwitchCon, which is cool. That was the first time that you met Max, right?
That's right. Yeah.
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 And Max, of course, was doing the time speed runs of the board setup. I don't know if you timed yourself, Kostya. Did you have a time?
I did a few runs. Yeah, my best was I think like around 30 seconds, maybe just under 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's where I
Hard.
was at, dude.
You
It's hard
remember
to
It's
that?
set up all
hard.
the
It's not
pieces
that easy.
quickly under pressure.
It's hard.
Yeah, I think mine was like 30 seconds too. I don't know. I don't think I got under, but anyways, yeah, there's always like fun stuff in chess. Like it's cool that chess.com is doing a lot of stuff at TwitchCon and just trying to make content. And of course, we're here to talk about mainly the Collegiate Chess League and just college chess in general. But I do want to try to advertise our semifinals and finals are this weekend. So the last 2 rounds of the Collegiate Chess League's playoffs are tomorrow and the next day. And of course, we have really exciting matchups, particularly tomorrow, which is going to be covered by Danya and Nemo. University of Texas at Dallas is going to take on their state rivals, University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. And then we have another state rivalry matchup between Mizzou and SLU. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that, Costa. Who are your favorites in those 2 matchups?
Wait, so are you releasing this today?
This isn't like brand new
Yeah.
information. I mean, maybe Danya commentating is, but the lineups,
Yeah, that might be.
the matches are definitely well known, and
Out.
they played in the quarterfinals last weekend. So UTRGV beat Yale and SLU beat Columbia. So that's how they made it. And Dallas and Mizzou actually got the first 2 places in the regular season, so that's why they had a bye week last week, and they already qualified for semifinals.
Wait, sorry. Are you releasing this podcast today, like on your YouTube?
It's live right now.
I know it's live,
Yeah.
but are you gonna be like posting
It will go out.
It's
Yeah.
also it's
Yeah.
live on YouTube. So
it's live on YouTube. So it's
yeah.
just saved.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
really easy.
Okay. All right. So semifinals this weekend, November 18th. Because I feel like people are gonna watch in the future and they're gonna be like, when was this?
Yeah, true. It's important to note that it is November 17th right now.
I see. And we don't know the lineups for the 2 teams.
So the lineups are private until the match, basically. But I do suspect that most of the teams will have their full lineup, their full potential, although there is some speculation for some of the teams, as a lot of their players are actually playing in Europe right now. So that is definitely a huge factor.
Well,
Yeah, I
the
saw some
CCL is
players
online, so
from SLU are in Europe. But yeah, I mean, maybe they can play after their game or something. I don't know. That's definitely a big handicap. I don't know. Oh, well, I'm rooting for SLU. I told you guys off here. I mean, they're my local team. They're like a few blocks away from me, so I feel like I gotta root for them. And then the other matchup, you said it was UTRGV against UT Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, those players they all kind of bleed into each other for me.
It's all one Texas glob.
So I think maybe one or two of the players from UTRGV actually just got their like GM elects now. I think Sean, I think it's like Rodrigue Lemieux.
Oh, they have Sean Rodrigue.
Yeah, one of the young Canadian masters.
Oh, he plays for UTRGV. Okay, I'll take them.
You'll take them. You like Sean.
Dude, he's a beast. He's very strong.
Yeah, we saw UT Dallas's only loss in the regular season was against SLU in triple overtime. And SLU actually was missing one of their GMs at the time. So that was really impressive. But Dallas beat UTRGV in the regular season. But that was before Sean got his GM norms or something. So maybe he's
Does that mean he was worse then?
Yeah.
No, UT Dallas, they got a strong team. So they got Rahul, Makovey, Skitko, Brodsky. No, they're very good too.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can win. That's what makes it fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of those players are playing in Europe as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess Sean isn't a European.
Lucky for them.
From Canada.
Well, maybe he could be French, right?
French Canadian, yeah.
I think he is from Montreal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure though.
Well, with a name like Rodrigue Lemieux.
It is French sounding.
It is. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah.
It's got to be French Canadian.
So yeah, and then the winners from tomorrow will move on to the finals. So it's a guaranteed Missouri versus Texas finals. And obviously you said SLU is your favorite, but interestingly, SLU actually lost to Mizzou in week 7, the last week of the regular season. So that was like 2 weekends ago. But SLU, interestingly, had their team captain and board 2, Benjamin Bach, commentating the match instead of playing the match. So that might be why they lost. But it was like such a huge landslide victory for Mizzou. We actually had prediction brackets, and I put Mizzou beating SLU in tomorrow's matchup because Mizzou beat them 12.5 to 3.5, which might be SLU's like biggest loss of all time.
Wow. And I mean, that's got to fire up Bach a little bit, right?
Yeah, why is he commentating the match instead of playing?
So I think interestingly, if SLU had gotten 5 points in their match, they would have beat, or no, maybe 5.5 points. They would have beat Mizzou on tie breaks, regardless of the score, or regardless of the results of the match, because when Mizzou beat SLU, they were then tied in the regular season, 5 wins and 2 losses. But because of the score was so big for Mizzou, they ended up getting second place, and that's why they had the bye, and SLU had to play against Columbia last weekend. So I think Bach was banking on his teammates getting to at least 5.5 points or something. Like maybe they still lose the match, but they could at least, still beat Mizzou, which is all that matters in the standings. But they ended up losing so badly that Mizzou leapfrogged them. And yeah, I don't know. That's the justification I got. But I think Bach is not going to be doing any more commentary this season. Is going to try their best to obviously win in the playoffs. So, but yeah, Kostya, you yourself have competed in college before. I know you went to Lindenwood. You've played in Pan Ams. Talk to us a little bit about what that experience is like.
Yeah, so that was cool. I joined Lindenwood University 10 years ago, basically 2013. And at the time I graduated undergrad, and I was thinking about being like a chess professional. I was kind of like dipping my feet in the water. But yeah, I wasn't sure. And then I got invited to come to Lindenwood on a master's degree to study business, and then join their chess team, get a scholarship, move away from home, like Los Angeles, California. So I kind of jumped on it. It was just kind of like, yeah, sounds good. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at that point, but I felt like I could combine kind of two things at once, like keep pursuing my chess career, but also get a master's in business, which I figured might be useful if the chess thing didn't work out. Um, and yeah, so I only spent a year with the school because it was kind of a short program, it was like 15 months. So I only had 1 year of like training and stuff, and then one Pan Am's. And I was a FIDE master at the time. But we didn't have one of these super teams like you see in Mizzou or Missouri or Texas or like Baltimore used to have like instead we just had like a couple like strong players. Like we had a couple IMs. This guy Levon Brigadze from Georgia and Priya Kanapan from India, who's now a GM. And then me and then like a couple masters. So we didn't have like a super strong team, but we were still
No
competitive.
slouches.
Like if we had a good score in Pan Am's, like we might have been able to qualify. But yeah, the 1 year I played, we lost a very critical match to University of Illinois, which was always like overperforming in these Pan Am tournaments.
Wow. Well, I know Rosen went to University of Illinois at one point, right?
Right.
Was he playing on that team?
He wasn't there that year. I think he had already maybe
Transferred
graduated
or grad?
or I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly, maybe transferred, but yeah, he wasn't there that year. But yeah, I remember he led, I think, a couple of their teams to like they're basically the Armenia of the Pan Ams. They're just like always like super underrated, and then somehow they make it to the top. And the year we played them, I think we outrated them on every board, and they beat us like 2.5, 1.5. You know, it's a very close match.
That's wild.
Wow.
Well,
And
So
you
that was the
said
one.
you said that this you were doing a 1 year master's period. So you did your undergrad somewhere else, but you weren't playing chess there?
Yeah, I did my undergrad at Cal State Los Angeles, but they didn't have like a chess team or anything. I mean, this was
Dang. So
back
you
in
were
the
just
day where there was only like 10 chess teams. Like period.
Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, whatever. So you were just playing chess on the side in the city, I guess.
Yeah, traveling to tournaments just on my own, just outside of school. Yeah, just
Nice,
kind of
yeah.
juggling both things.
I guess this brings me to the question that we always ask everybody, and that I am genuinely curious about, which is how'd you get into chess? Was it your dad, or was it your own genuine ambition, or somewhere else?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I've been playing chess my whole life. Like I learned when I was a kid from my grandpa. He taught me, and then I started
Yeah.
playing, and my dad would coach me and my brother. I would say I really got into it when I was about like 15 or 16. I started taking it a lot more seriously. And then I at the time I was like maybe like 1900, 2000 or so. And then I started like studying really hard. And then I feel like I made a lot of progress like in my college years. In fact, like 16 to like 22, 23, I think is when I became an IM, maybe 24. So yeah, I was working very hard through those years as I realized that I didn't want to have a regular job after I left school, and I just wanted to
Yeah.
to do chess and be able to travel and have this lifestyle and stuff.
that's so
Yeah,
cool.
well, good. I mean, yeah, that's really cool and good on you for, I mean, you set your mind to it and you did it, which is awesome. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, no, it really worked out. I mean, back then, I mean, yeah, there was no like, there was very little chess content or media, or like, there's like no podcast.
Yeah.
I remember when Ben Johnson like started the first. It wasn't the first chess podcast, but it was just like the first one
Yeah,
that
the
was
first one.
actually going to be like a regular thing, not stop after just like a few episodes.
Yeah. Survive.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah, so no, it's definitely exploded since then.
that's a great point, and I wanted to maybe touch on that a little bit. You mentioned like back in the day, chess didn't have as much, like nearly as much content creation as we see nowadays. Like being a professional in chess and making a career in chess was so much harder, it seems. There's so fewer people that could actually do it. And a lot of people are doing this these days through content creation, like streaming and just being like chess content creator or whatever. Like a lot of times it's personal channels, right? But there's also I think what you guys are doing with Chess Dojo Live is actually really cool. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you came up with this idea and like, because I figured you also started out streaming personally yourself before you
Mhm.
came up with Chess Dojo Live.
Yeah, I was. No, it's absolutely true. In the past, the only way to make a living from it, if you weren't a top player, would be to teach. You would have to teach privately, teach school classes. I think that's what most people. It's like what Levy was doing for many years. So like Eric, I mean everyone basically. And yeah, only like last several years. Okay, Twitch became a thing. I think that was pretty huge. YouTube, obviously. Chess.com started running all these like high level events like speed chess championships, like bringing turning it into more of like an esport rather than just like this like classical tournament thing. And so yeah, I think that's what's ultimately made the difference. And then brought up all these other companies, like Chessable, Chess 24. They realized like they could actually start making regular chess content and stuff like that. Yeah, so with Dojo, basically I was streaming on my own for maybe about a year or so, and it wasn't with anything special in mind. It was just to kind of like promote maybe like my private lessons or like some courses that I was doing at the time. um, and yeah, so Dojo basically started in March 2020. um, I am David Pruis reached out to me, you guys probably know, and he was also streaming on his own at the time, and he was like wondering if I'd be interested in like teaming up. And I was actually thinking about reaching out to him for the same reason, because I had come to the same conclusion even in back then, March 2020. So actually it was like February 2020, so it was actually right before the pandemic wasn't a thing yet. It was just like a news
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, something weird's happening in China and now Italy. And
Yeah.
so he reached out, it's like, hey, maybe we should like team up and do like a dual channel, because it's just so competitive to stream on your own. And then we're thinking about getting like a third person. We quickly thought of Grandmaster Jesse Cry, who was also streaming on his own channel. And then we're like, yeah, let's just try to like form a super team. And they've been making chess content for years. They've been making like videos like chess.com. Before that, they did like chesslecture.com. So they've been doing it for many, many years. I was just a few years in, I guess, myself into like, making instructive chess media. And yeah, we decided to kind of team up. Just we realized we have very similar ideals when it comes to like chess training philosophy. We're definitely kind of more all on like the old school side of things, where it's like books and OTB boards are the way to go if you want to improve, versus like all these like fancy like tools and stuff. And our plan originally was to start in June 2020, just to kind of prep for it for a few months. But then the pandemic hit, so everyone got sent home, and then we were like, oh well, it makes sense to just start streaming now. And so we actually started with the 2020 candidates, the candidates tournament that got postponed for a full year. That was the first like big event that we covered on our channel. We did like YouTube recaps and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Dang.
awesome.
It's it.
That's like 3 years of work now that you put into it, and obviously it's kind of a humble beginning. That was actually the same time that I personally started streaming,
Mhm.
and obviously I had like way less experience and knowledge than you guys. So that's really cool that you started that, and now like, can you talk to some of the successes that you guys have had on the channel so far? Now that we're in 2023.
Yeah, I'd say we're doing well. We're not like a huge channel or anything. We recently hit like 50,000 YouTube subscribers. But that was like a long grind. So hoping
Yeah.
it accelerates at some point. But I think I would say our biggest success is that actually I feel like our brand is pretty established. Like people kind of know who we are and like what we're about and what we believe in. And I think that's actually maybe the most valuable thing, that people kind of like know what they're getting from us. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's been very fun. We've definitely, like, I guess one of our biggest assets is we've grown like this community of chess improvers. So a lot of people, if they're like really like serious about their game, they want to train with others online, they want to talk chess improvement, like they found kind of this nice space inside of Dojo where they can do that. And yeah, now we have like even our own training program, where we have like a training plan, like planned out for all levels. And we built this like very cool site that helps people like track their progress and see other people in their group and, work on their chess. And people have gained a ton of points from that. So that's been cool. So it's been great. Like, we always like took pride in helping people with their chess, helping people improve. And now we have like an established program and that people are following, and they're gaining points, and we're tracking it, and we're like seeing the progress, and we're like, oh wow,
That's awesome.
That's pretty amazing.
Do you know what's the website if you want to plug it real quick?
Oh sure, it's dojoscoreboard.com. People can make a free account and see like what it's like. It's all about checking off boxes. You have a list of tasks, things you need to do. You go and do it, like, read some book, analyze some games, you check off a box, for every chapter you finish, and you get points. So we try to like, gamify it a little bit, but to kind of give people that additional like motivation and also accountability. Like they have a plan, they know exactly what they need to do. And that seems to help a lot.
Yeah, it's like a trainer, like a personal trainer on a website.
Yeah, I very much see it as like a fitness kind of app where it like tells you the training plan, tells you what to do. Then you go do it, you mark it off. The app gives you some points, some rewards. It's like,
yeah. And you said you're tracking the elo gained, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a cumulative, like our users have gained over 1 million elo, like something crazy like that
over time?
Yeah, we're working on that. Right now, the number is close to 80,000 across the program.
That's so cool.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's so cool.
And
yeah, I guess I better get on it.
And that's just with every user tracking, like they pick one rating that they want to track, like their USCF or their chess.com or Lichess or whatever. But a lot of people, they gain points like across platforms. But okay, we're just tracking like their main one basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super cool. No, we actually we do a lot of calculations. So we also give people points like when they complete a task. So to just give you guys like a benchmark, if you play one classical game, which is like 3-4 hours, you get 1 point for doing that. If you analyze the game, which is going to be another couple hours, you get 1 point for that. If you finish a whole chess book, which is going to be like maybe 40 hours of work, you get, I think, about like 10 points for that. And so we've tracked it. So on average, the people that are checking off what they're doing, they gain 2 rating points per 1 dojo point. Just kind of cool.
That is really cool that you could do
that. So
it
just gives you like, it just gives you this vision. Like if you just do the work, don't worry about like your short-term rating gain, but over time, it's like you have that certainty that you'll improve.
Now, I see that you're also wearing a Chessable hoodie. I'm assuming the 3 Chess Dojo masters are also making Chessable courses as well, right?
We have a couple. I have 1. I think Jesse has 2. David, I don't think, has made any Chessable stuff yet. I'm not sure if he's interested. But yeah, we're friendly with Chessable for sure. We recommend a lot of like books and courses that they have like on their site. This weekend we're going to be taking over their Twitter, which should be pretty fun. So we're going to post some. We've been collecting some fun photos and like behind the scenes and photos of our community members, which is cool too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like every event I go to, I see people with Chess Dojo merch.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I know Max, I think it's mostly at chess tournaments. Like TwitchCon, there weren't that many. It's like TwitchCon's not meant for chess fans specifically.
Chess. Yeah.
Right.
But Max is trying to change that, right?
In due time, yeah, I guess. TwitchCon becoming chess. When will be ChessCon is the question. That's where we'll see it.
ChessCon's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'm not saying that it might happen one day, but hopefully it will. Yeah, I mean that bridge. I mean, I was going to ask you this, Kostya, because especially working in the chess community and previously working with the college team, like one of our big goals is like, how do we get these new people into chess? Like, what do you think, gets somebody that maybe knows how the pieces move, but they give the classic answer of like, it's too hard or it's too much to think about? Like, what do we do to make chess? I don't want to say sexy, but you get what I mean.
Well, I feel like it's improved a ton just in the last, like this year, basically. A lot of like normies have gotten into it, like college kids, high school kids, just yeah, people you wouldn't like, just like random actors are just like playing chess. It's weird. Like every week now
Yeah.
we get a celebrity that's like, oh yeah, I'm on chess.com and I'm 450 and I need some tips. Please help me. It's kind of surprising, but yeah, now we actually have yeah, like lots of athletes coming in as well. So I don't know. I feel like what has happened is you've had a lot of influencers that have broken through, like on YouTube and TikToks. Obviously, you have like Levy and Hikaru. And I was in Los Angeles recently, and actually, everyone there apparently is a fan of Eric Rosen. He's just very big in Los Angeles for whatever reason.
Dude, he's really big in college campuses too. Every time I went to a
Yeah.
college campus, I'm like, who's your favorite? Eric Rosen. Wow.
So I feel like if we could definitely have more of like the Eric Rosen types. There's got to be more out there.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric's a one of a kind, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like channels like your own, realistically, are things that there's just the fact that there's like a wealth of opportunity to like learn about chess if you become interested these days, like on the internet as a whole.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate. I mean, yeah, we try to like our niche is to try to be the kind of like hardcore instructive side. We do try to keep it fun as well. Like we're really into chess culture and history and the current chess elite players and everything that's happening. But yeah, I don't know. Going back to colleges, actually, I recently played a tournament at Washington University here in St. Louis, and I was kind of embarrassed. I mean, they invited me to the tournament. They have a chess team. They got a couple like decent players, like masters on there, and they invited me to the tournament. I showed up, and then I realized like I was just like by far the strongest player. Like it was mostly just a tournament for like their school. So most of the people that showed up, like they like didn't even have a rating. Probably they're like underrated.
Yeah. Just
So
you do queen odds or what?
No, I played it. I won both events. There was a rapid and a blitz. I won both.
Wow, you won the St. Louis rapid and blitz.
It was the Wash U rapid and blitz.
The Wash U and St. Louis rapid and blitz. Yeah.
But okay, I mean, like it was a great turnout, for a school that's just like hosting a random chess tournament. And there's a bunch of people there that aren't chess players. Normally when like a school hosts a tournament, it's just, okay, some people are chess players already and then they show up because they want to play. But it's like you don't typically see people who don't have like a rating, just show up and exclusively they just play online. So I definitely feel like hosting more events like on college campuses would probably go a long way.
Yeah, there's a lot of content being made just in general on college campuses. And Nemo and I actually went to UCLA yesterday to play the students. She was staking $100 if she lost, and she beat everyone.
Nice.
Until we got to the actual chess club itself. I think a FIDE master was able to take her down. But yeah, Kostya, like in St. Louis, obviously SLU is a huge chess school, Webster is a huge chess school, but you're just at like Wash U. But have you been interested in making like maybe kind of outside of the norm chess content, like maybe doing interview style or just like setting up a board on campus and playing students like that? Have you ever done that in general, or are you thinking about it?
I have thought about it. I really struggle with the tech. Whenever I've tried IRL streaming, for whatever reason, like the sound is always bad. I can't figure out the audio. And then it's like, yeah, the connection is bad. And so it's just like, yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing with that. I need a guy like you, Joe, that comes with me, sets it up, and then I can just sit and play.
I think like a lot of people say the same thing about starting to stream on Twitch, right? They're like, oh, I don't know how to set up OBS, and like I don't have a, good connection or whatever. But I think if you can set it up one time and then streaming from there on is just like pressing a button, I think you just put in a little bit of time to figure out like how to make it work, like what you need. Like I know you've played a lot and have been on a ton of videos from Coffee Chess, right? Like they're not
Mhm.
streaming it, they're just recording it. Maybe that's
Yeah, I was
another
gonna say
avenue.
that's a lot easier is to record a video and then post it after. But I mean, still, like that content, that like random chess content, especially in public, is like is super key. I feel like to getting like those the random person, like that's the stuff that like you never know when like your YouTube short of you playing chess at a university is gonna go like super viral for no reason, because we
Right.
all know that that's how the internet works is that there is no reason, just random.
Yeah, that is pretty surprising. That's a good point. I could just try to record stuff. Yeah, somehow like streaming is like way easier. Like you set it up on the computer. I don't know. It's like it's fine, no problems. But yeah, when it's like out and about in public, be like, yeah, there's. But no, I've been,
Yeah.
I live near the St. Louis Chess Club, and I've been telling them that I think they should be doing more of that exact same thing, just like the IRL coffee chess style content, because they have people playing at the club every single day, and there's some great characters at the club.
Yeah, yeah.
Could be
Yeah.
fun.
And St. Louis
I
right
mean,
now is
Rapid and Blitz right now, right?
Right now they're hosting this big Grandchester event. Yeah, Rapid and Blitz, and then Singfield Cup starting in a couple of days. So yeah, there's some strong players.
yeah, so
Roaming
About
around
the
the
city's
streets.
just buzzing right now.
Yeah.
I saw even the Botez sisters were there because I think Susan Polgar had her tournament as well.
That's right. No, not her tournament. She got inducted to the
Mm,
World Chess Hall of Fame.
that's
So
right.
they were there for
Yeah.
the induction ceremony. Yeah, they stopped by the club, so that was fun. Yeah, I mean, even normally St. Louis is pretty stacked. Like you have a number of just like elite grandmasters living here, like several of the top U.S. players. And then you have all these players that are like at the schools, like all these GMs, and then you have people that used to go to school here that know, like Ray Robson, Nizhnik, like the Chessview guys, like so it's very, very there's a ton of strong players here. It's kind of insane.
Literally roaming the streets. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so at any moment you could see a chess game break out, and like if you just filmed it or streamed it, you get all these views. But I don't know, maybe you could
True.
tap into that.
Yeah, try to get more
Well,
spontaneous games going.
yeah, if you're telling St. Louis Chess Club to do it and they're not doing it, like take action in your own hands. That could be your content.
Joe's coming
Uh,
after you.
true, true. I could maybe film that at the club. They would probably let me. I'll think about it. I mean, look, guys, I'm also like trying to improve my game. So this is my struggle. It's like you got
Mm,
the chess content side
yeah.
and then the chess like real training side, and they rarely mesh. They
Mm,
rarely mix
Yeah.
together.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
that's one thing that like with college, right? That's like a lot of like Hikaru went to college for like 6 months, and I'm pretty sure I watched him on stream once be like, "That's if you want to be, a GM, going to college is the worst decision you can make." Essentially, it's hard to mix those two because you just need to study chess, not school, if you really want to be that good. And it's hard if you want to be a full-time content creator like Levy. He kind of has to give up on the dream of being a GM, probably. I mean, I think so, right? I mean, I don't think he can be a GM
It's tough.
and have 5 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah, no, I think most streamers have this struggle where, yeah, you just have to kind of pick one or the other that you're more into. I mean, that's just how it's always worked for me. It's like the thing that I focus on is the thing that can grow, but I can only truly focus on really one main thing at a time. And that's
Yeah.
either my own chess development or it's, growing stuff like Dojo and making content.
Hmm.
And,
So
um,
do
yeah, I
you
feel like Hikaru is the only one that's actually like improved his chess while he's been a streamer.
yeah,
Somehow, like, it doesn't make any sense.
we gotta ask him
Like,
how he does it.
casual qualification for candidates tournament and also streaming Title Tuesday. Like,
Well,
Yeah, no, I mean,
just
he has like the best performance of anyone in 2023. Like, it's kind of wild. I
yeah.
mean,
yeah, he hasn't
yeah,
lost yet, right?
he didn't lose a game this year, and he nearly came second in the candidates last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He could have been the world champion if he like lost to Ding in the last round, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Like then he could have been the
Yeah.
challenger to Nepo, which is wild to think
So yeah,
about.
so if he held that game to Ding, who like, barely qualified for the
Exactly.
tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
qualified against his like own best wishes. Like, yeah, if he just holds that game, he gets the match with Nepo. But I mean, anything can happen in that match. I mean, Nepo
Exactly.
has been, easily
Quality.
the top player the last
Yeah.
couple of years. So
It's insane how much all of this came from Magnus just not wanting to defend his title. Like so much
yeah,
stuff is like the world timeline of chess is so drastically changed. But yeah, I mean, I think it's curious. I wanted to ask you, what kind of percentage are you focusing on content creation? What percentage are you focusing on chess growth? And how much does that actually fluctuate? I'm sure some moments you're more focused on one thing, others you're more focused on the other. And especially with Chess Dojo, when you have two significant partners that can help support the channel, like how much of that weight of content creation can be lifted knowing that you have two really awesome partners in running it?
yeah. No, that's the best part about having a team is that, yeah, it's not all on you. So any one of us can take breaks from like streaming, and then the channel won't just go completely, radio silent for a week. So yeah, it's great to have partners that can kind of pick up the slack. It's hard to put a percentage on it. I mean, when I have like tournaments coming up, I'll definitely try to spend more time working on my chess and doing less content wise. Then maybe after like a big tournament or something, if I have some time off, then I'll probably focus more on the dojo side. So I try to keep it like 50-50 in terms of my motivation on it. But in terms of time, I would say like majority of my time probably goes to the content side of things, and like not even content necessarily, but just like business side of things too. Just like running, we got like so many platforms, like holy moly, like YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Patreon, Instagram, TikTok. Just
Yeah.
like we got a Facebook now, we got a chess.com blog. There's a lot of things to kind of keep
Hmm.
track of.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
other thing, I mean, that definitely keeps me going is that, however I improve my own chess, that definitely helps Dojo if I can
Yeah.
improve my own game.
Yeah, I feel that. And I'm
Yeah.
also thinking like if I worked on my chess and maybe got an NM title, for instance, that would gain a lot of, truth and
Yep.
respect, I think, amongst the chess community and like commentary and just like analysis and teaching and streaming in general, like content creation in general. So like if you went from IM to GM, that's also another thing. But like someone like Levy, for instance, like maybe I think he tried getting GM, it didn't work out. And like for him and his status, it's like how much is GM title actually going to help with like he already is at the top of chess content
Yeah.
creation and has like the most visibility, the most viewership, like maybe it's not going to help him that much. And I think Danya actually was asked this as well. It's a similar thing. Like he's already GM, but someone asked him like, hey, like what if you try to get 2,700 FIDE, right? And become like a super GM. And his answer to that was like, I could invest 2 years of my life, just completely drop everything and focus on chess, and I still wouldn't be guaranteed that I could get it, right? In fact,
Yeah.
after that amount of time and work, it's even possible that I actually lose rating. Like that's how difficult it is to improve and gain your rating. And he's just saying like for him, it's not worth that time investment and energy. Like he's already commentating, he's already streaming and content creating. So like at some point maybe it's like you just kind of have to choose. Obviously you can go back and forth, but obviously what you're saying is if you can uh well it's harder to do both, like everyone kind of agrees on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're doing great things with Chess Dojo, and I think that well I hope that your chess improvement is also going in the right direction. But I think either path that you choose, I wish you good luck. So
Thanks. I just want to say that is a very interesting point. Actually, I think it's true. I don't think the GM title would help Levy that much with what he's doing. I feel like it could actually kind of hurt. I think it's kind of nice that he's an IM, because he's like the internet's chess teacher, right? And for most
Teacher,
people, their
yeah.
first teacher is not going to be a GM. That's actually kind of a waste of.
Yeah, they don't need it.
The stronger you are doesn't make you better necessarily at teaching, especially for beginners. It might even make you worse at teaching beginners, right? So
Yeah.
I actually think Levy has very unique talent of making it accessible to people that are very, very new to the game. And with Danya, yeah, same thing. I agree. Like he's already kind of number one, top three like chess commentators in the world, probably in terms of like popularity from what I see. And he's already vastly stronger by just an insane amount, right, compared to your average chess player. So I think for them, it's like if they wanted to go for these like chess pursuits, it'd be more just like a personal goal, just because they both grew up chess players. And I mean, I feel the same way. It's like when you're a chess player, it's like getting that next level or title, it's kind of, you know, it just like matters to you. It's like a life meaning kind of thing rather than always a professional thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think we're kind of at our time here. So I wanted to thank you again, Kostya, for being here. And I wish you good luck in your chess journey. And I'm sure we'll stay connected. And it's always good to see you and talk to you. Yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you guys. Likewise.
Yeah.
I wish you the best with the Collegiate Chess League and with your own chess development. Hope you guys... You still have time. You're both young. You still have, but look, you're running out of time. You're running out of time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the clock's ticking.
Kostya, I mean,
well, if you have some free time, Collegiate Chess League finals this weekend. That way, that's the best way to improve. Watch the best chess players in
we're
college.
gonna have to get onto that dojo course to improve.
Yeah.
Use our what little remaining time we have left.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, and yeah, have a great weekend. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.